Broadcasting live from the ESPN Madison studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
How's it going, Madison? This is Krissy Birdsall with your Sports Center update, brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment. Complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more. Go to celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. The Wisconsin men's basketball team is rolling as they won their fifth straight game last night, a 94-75 win over Illinois. The number 11 Badgers now turn to Saturday as they get ready to face the Oregon Ducks. That game will be at the Kohl Center, 11 a.m. tip time over on Fox. And tomorrow, Badgers forward Nolan Winter will join the Jump Around to break down Wisconsin's latest win streak. Tune into the Jump Around Thursday at 12:30 p.m. on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. The Milwaukee Bucks are gearing up for their first game since the NBA All-Star break as they get set to take on the LA Clippers. No word yet on whether Giannis will return to the lineup tomorrow as he has been out since February 3rd to manage a calf strain injury. The Bucks are currently favored by 1.5 points according to ESPN Bet. Bucks Clippers tips off tomorrow at 7 p.m. with coverage starting at 6:30 right here on Madison's home of the Bucks.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
Bayport leading 19-0 over Muskego. The third member of our broadcast team, Krissy Birdsall, down on the field. Let's check in with her. Krissy?
Thanks, guys. And for Bayport, they were able to dial it up on offense. And if you're curious who's running the plays, well, it's no other than head coach Steven Jorgensen's dad. His dad joined the staff this year after the coaching change. And at Bayport, it's a family affair. Both the dad and the brother assistant coaches on the team. Jorgensen said that him and his brother back in the day used to be water boys for his dad at Oshkosh North, then played for him at Kimberly and eventually coached with him at Fond du Lac before eventually coming over to Bayport. He said during practices and throughout the season, it's gotten competitive and at times maybe a little bit heated, but they love being able to do it as a family. Now, in terms of calling the plays, Steve Jorgensen said, I'll let my dad do anything because you would be dumb not to. And so far, it's working pretty well for Bayport as they lead 19-0. Send it back up to you, Gabe and Mike.
Before this series gets underway, we're going to do a quick hit to Krissy Birdsall on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. And for Lomira, they seem pretty pumped up on the sideline to get that turnover. But going into this week, they had a little bit of extra motivation. Now the team goes out for weekly wings every week at Schmitty's Old Bar and Grill up in Elmira. And this week, an anonymous donor paid for their entire meal. They said that they were so grateful for that opportunity. They're going to want to be winning, not only for that gold ball, but maybe for some extra wings as well.
Well, if they want to bring some wings up here to us, we'll take some.
That sounds outstanding right now. Thank you, Krissy Birdsall, our sideline reporter.
Thanks, guys. And as conference play is literally heating up, we caught up with both coaching staffs to find out what they want to see from their teams this weekend. Now, Wisconsin head coach Yvette Healy and Iowa's assistant coach Sammy Diaz, they are locked in to the pitchers' battle. Yvette Healy said earlier this week that the first 7 conference games have been high-flying barn burners, and she's not expecting it to be a high-scoring series this weekend. So for her, she wants her pitchers to establish dominance in the circle. For Iowa's assistant coach Sammy Diaz, she's more focused on the batter, saying that each week they like to focus on something different, and this week it is managing the strike zones, and she's going to be telling the players they have to manage those balls and strikes if they want to walk away from Madison with a win. Carter? Thanks, guys. And down here ringside and at the Badgers bench, you can just feel the energy here at the Kohl Center. Well, that's because Wisconsin hasn't played a home game in nearly 40 days. See, they were on a road trip across the Midwest, concluding at Wrigley Field in the frozen confines against Michigan State. Now, when we talked to Wisconsin head coach Mike Hastings about this game, he said it was an unforgettable experience. With so many of the players, Badgers, coming from the Midwest, they soaked it all in. They said it was the talk of the locker room when they came back from Christmas break, and the day before the game, they were able to go out on Wrigley Field, 10 of the guys bringing gloves and balls so that they could play catch at the historic stadium. He said that while the team is divided between Brewers fans and Cubs fans, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to play at Wrigley Field and something they'll carry with them for the rest of the season and the rest of their careers. Vince?
Thanks a bunch, Krissy. Yeah, I just love that story.
Thanks, guys. guys, and for Wisconsin, one of the biggest questions entering this season was what they were going to do at the point guard position. This offseason, 3-year starter Chucky Hepburn entered the transfer portal, and Greg Gard's solution, according to the head coach, is a point guard by committee. Now, what does this mean? Greg Gard said that the 4 point guards in rotation, including John Blackwell, Kamari McGee, Daniel Freitag, and Cameron Hunter, they all bring something unique to the one position. He said of John Blackwell specifically, he felt most comfortable with him because Blackwell felt the most comfortable. He's been playing point guard up to his senior year of high school. And for Kamari McGee, who we've seen get in pretty early in this game, he described him as a floor general, and his experience brings a spark off the bench when the Badgers need it most. Joey? Thanks, guys. And while college basketball can sometimes feel like a revolving door of transfers, Wisconsin head coach Marissa Mosley picked up 2 instant impact players in Carter McRae and Tess Myers this season. Now, when we talked to associate head coach Margaret McKeon about why they chose these 2, she said that both have a winning mentality, but more importantly, they fill a need for the team entering this season. For Tess Myers, they said that her specialty is 3-point shooting, and that's been a point of emphasis for the program. Now, Tess Myers, 39% from 3 this season, has been a really big help from beyond the arc. For Carter McRae, she's been an impact on the post, both in rebounding and in scoring. And they said they really liked her because she complements Sarah and can make an impact at any point in time. Now, for both of these players, McKeon said they are selfless and that they come in with a great positive attitude and really have embraced the team and culture. They'll be looking to make their impact on this team as they continue the rest of the season. Carter? Guys, and John, Holy Cross led by as much as 16 in that first half. What were you guys telling yourselves in the huddle and at halftime to come back out and come away with the victory today?
I mean, this is our first game together in front of all the fans and like actual games. So adversity is going to happen. This is how we shake back for the adversity, and we kept pushing away at that lead, and then we got settled in and got going.
First game of the season for you, and you're taking on a new role as a starting point guard. How has that adjustment been for you so far?
It's been great. I mean, my coaches and my teammates keep me prepared for that. They prepare me all year, all week. I played point guard before, and God got me at the end of the day, so I thank God for it.
And I know it's only the first game of the season, but what does a comeback win like that tell you about this team this year?
That we're fighters. Like Coach said, we're like a team in a boxing match. We might not knock you out the first round, second round, third round, but to that 12th round, we're just going to grind you out and beat you. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I'm here with Carter McRae. Carter, 14 points, 8 rebounds, and Rutgers gave you guys a fight all the way to the end. What did you need to do to help this team come away with the victory?
I think really just staying together as a team, like working together as a team. We knew we couldn't beat them individually, but we could beat them together as a whole, so I think that's the main emphasis.
Absolutely, and in those final moments, watching your teammates Natalie and Ronnie making those free throws for the team, what's going through your mind in those final moments?
Yeah, I was confident they were going to make them, so yeah, they shoot free throws pretty well in practice and in games, so yeah, but it was nerve-wracking towards the end, definitely. They gave us a run for our money.
And Wisconsin is 8-2 for the first time since 2009. What is it about this team this year that has allowed you guys to get off to this start?
I think we're all really committed. Like, we've really bought into like the team and our goals as a whole. So I think that's really it.
Awesome. Thank you, Carter.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Some breaking news out of college football. UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka announced that he will redshirt the rest of the season due to certain representations that were not made to him when he transferred to Las Vegas. In his statement, he said despite discussions, these commitments were not going to be fulfilled in the future, prompting him to choose not to play any more games for the Rebels this season. UNLV is 3-0 for the first time since 1984 and currently in contention for a playoff spot through the Group of 5. Sluka, who transferred to UNLV after 4 years at Holy Cross, currently leads the quarterback room with 318 passing yards, 253 yards on the ground, and 7 total touchdowns. The Rebels have not released a statement yet, but stay tuned as this story is developing.
On any given Saturday in the fall, nearly 80,000 fans flock to Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, Wisconsin to cheer on the Badgers football team. But come kickoff in a sea of cardinal and white, one section seems noticeably more empty than everywhere else. That is the student section. My name is Krissy Birdsall, and today we're going to be diving into Wisconsin's tardy student section and what the athletic department can do about it. Camp Randall Stadium could hold up to 80,000 fans during a typical Wisconsin football game, And during every game, about 14,000 of those seats are reserved for the Wisconsin student section, also known as Area Red. And even though tickets to get into Area Red can sell out in as little as 15 minutes, the student section still struggles to fill up by kickoff. Now, this isn't a new thing. Complaints about Wisconsin's tardy student section have dated back to 2009. So why does this happen? Well, for starters, one of the reasons why Wisconsin's student section shows up late is because, well, the students show up late. Between pregame tailgates and just general tardiness, there are some students that show up 10 minutes before kickoff or even right after kickoff. But when you look at the process for students to get into Camp Randall, that's where things get a little bit long. See, there are 10 gates for fans to enter throughout the stadium, but only one of those gates, Gate 5, is open for students. And when you do the math based off of the stadium's current capacity, that means about 18% of the stadium's total population is only allowed to enter through one gate. This layout creates a logjam for students to even enter the stadium, causing long lines and wait times. And once students get into the stadium, it's just as long of a process to even get into their seats. Once students get to their section entrance, they're walked down and seated in single file lines, which also increases the time from gate to seat. Between the layout and the process, some students have reported waiting between 45 and 60 minutes to sit in the student section. And for many of them, that means missing kickoff. So what could the athletic department do about this? Well, for starters, they could open a second student gate or eliminate single file lines altogether. The athletic department could also incentivize students to show up earlier with food vouchers, discounted items, or even some freebies, which was a popular answer when we interviewed students during Wisconsin's game against Purdue. So what do you think Wisconsin's athletic department could do to fill up Camp Randall's student section by kickoff? Let us know in the comments. And as always, like and subscribe for more Inside Badger Athletics.